Hello everyone, I'm Renee Lobo, and today my guests are going to be talking about the upcoming film, which is going to be screened, private screening, which is going to be on July 17th in downtown Manhattan. It's called Back Up. So nice name, and we have the writer, director, producer of the film with us, Ishwar Gunturi, along with the lead actress of the film, and she's Shweta Keswani. So thank you for coming here today. And Back Up. Nice name. It's kind of like, hey, it's like back up, are you backing up some more stuff in this film? Tell us a little bit about this film.
The film is about a person who has been brainwashed psychologically.
So it's a psychological thriller?
Yeah, it's a psychological thriller. The person is brainwashed to bomb Times Square as a suicide bomber.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you have another person who's living on the edge. He's getting psychiatric treatment.
He is the person who is actually getting the psychiatric treatment.
So he's the one. Okay.
Yeah. And he replaces a person who was to do the bombing. So that's why the main lead is the backup.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And tell us, we get a lot of films on terrorism. After 9/11, we had so many films. Do you think it's like overkill? We're having another one as well over here: suicide bombing, terrorism, extreme emotions of hatred and anger and violence.
This is, I think, one of the rarest short films that was made on terrorism in the United States.
Right.
And it's a big short film. It's about 35 minutes long, and it's a big budget short film actually. And after especially what happened in Boston recently,
right.
And we are actually showing the film as a psychological thriller where we create a alternate reality of the main character, where we show his dream, we also show the reality. Right. So it's very psychological that way. So it's pretty deep.
I see. Yeah. Well, we're going to come back to Shweta, who's plays the lead in the film, and she's a brand name in India. We're going to first look at a small trailer of Back Up, and we'll come back and talk to Shweta.
हेलो, कौन है?
साहब।
साहब?
तो हमारे लिए अपनी जान देनी पड़ेगी डॉक्टर।
आपने कहा था मैं ठीक हो जाऊंगा। मुझे मार दो प्लीज। साहब, ये आपका काम करेगा, लेकिन ये अभी पूरी तरह पागल नहीं है। इसको पागल बनाना पड़ेगा। मार दूंगा, उसे मार दूंगा। अपनी आंखें खोलो और सामने देखो। तुमने दीप्ति को देखा?
Wow, that was really intense. It was a quick look at Back Up, which is going to be having an all-media screening on July 17th in downtown Manhattan. And I'm talking to the writer, producer, director of Back Up, Ishwar Gunturi, as well as the lead actor in the film. Her name is Shweta Keswani. Now, Shweta, you're a TV serial actress as well as the big screen. People have seen you in many TV serials, Ghar Ghar Ki Kahani, Adalat, as well as Bahu, and Baby. So this is, and you've also done a lot of films in India. So you're pretty much a very recognized face on the small screen and on the big screen as well. Tell us, this is something different for you, shooting outside of India.
Yeah, it was great fun actually. When I got a call from him and I had to come in for an audition, I was pretty excited. The script looked very interesting. The scene he had given me for my audition was extremely intense. I had to be screaming and yelling and,
Wow.
But it was fun, and he gave me many options and, let me do it many times. So he was like an actor's director, I would say. And I don't know, I was lucky to have gotten it, and I'm happy to be in his film.
Right. And tell us, I know TV serials, was it a big transition for you? I mean, something so nice, romantic, those rom-coms that we see all the time, then suddenly something like an intense psychological thriller right here.
You know, even his film, I feel every story in the end comes down to love.
Right.
And even though it's terrorism, and the reason we hate it so much is because in the end we all favor love and we don't want terrorism, or we don't want unpleasantness. So at the end of the day, whether it's a television serial or it's a film, everything boils down to love and human relationships.
True.
And the film has got many facets to it. It's got a lot of stuff going on. It's not just about terrorism. It's about different human relationships. It's between a doctor and a patient, between a husband and a wife, between friends. There are a lot of different angles in the film, because the film can't just be about one aspect. Everything almost comes down to all kinds of different relationships in a film. So it was nice. It was very interesting. And it wasn't much of a difference. As for an actor, it's, you know, the medium doesn't matter. It's the performance, it's your co-actors, it's your director, it's your script.
Absolutely. That's most important. Tell us a little bit about your character in this film.
So she's, wouldn't say a scorned, loved one. She's not scorned really, but she's not been getting the attention or the love from the husband that she would expect after marriage. He isn't psychotic until something happens in the film that's really drastic.
I see.
That causes him to become psychotic, and then the whole thing where he could become a terrorist and is being, you know, kind of psyched into becoming a terrorist.
So probably is that anger boiling in him, and then...
Yeah, there's a lot of hurt actually. Yes. More than anger, I feel with him, it's a lot of hurt that makes him the way, you know, what turns out in the film. I don't want to give it all away.
Yeah, actually.
So, was that good?
Yeah,
yeah, well, the directors
yeah,
right here.
Like, so I didn't say enough, right? Too much, right?
Yes, Philippines too much, right? But, so it's you basically, I guess, Ishra, you're talking about, I mean, this is your debut feature film, you know, first big debut feature film, I would say. I know you have worked in a Telugu film and also in a Hollywood film, The Last Gamble. And you're putting out a message, I guess, over here, you know, what happens in the psyche of a so-called terrorist, you know, what goes on in his mind when he resorts to something so violent. Is that the message?
Not exactly, actually. The guy whom we show, he's brainwashed to do something,
right,
and he is under hypnosis, and it's totally that way. It's not like he wants to do this.
Right.
He doesn't know he's doing it.
But it's a struggle, though. It's constant struggle, trying to fight it.
Emotionally, he's fighting those emotions.
He's totally in love with his wife, and he has some issues with her, and there's something drastic happens, as Shweta said.
Yes.
So then we have this terrorist sleeper cell. They come into being in his life, and they change it in a way, and they change the city, actually.
Right. So I guess the takeaway message is, you know, somebody's decision can actually wreak devastation.
Right.
So
the takeaway message actually is the person who brainwashes the lead actor. He does this to save his own life.
Right.
So in the situation where the extreme circumstances count, you should always keep the safety of the public at large. That's the message of the film.
Right. So, you know, to avoid those extreme emotions that come in the way many
Yes.
times. Yeah. We'll be also taking a look at another clip from Backup in just a few seconds. So this is something that you would think it's a big production for you in terms of not just for 35 minutes, but in the sense like it's something intense, strong, and full of emotions.
Yeah, this is a big production for us because we have a feature that's on these lines, and we wanted to show it to people to see how they receive it. And if they like it, then
Okay.
I'm sure they would like it,
Yeah, again, the all-media screening is going to be on July 17th, and that's going to be in downtown Manhattan, and you can have a look at Backup. It's by invitation only, of course, at that time. Shweta, tell us, you know, this must be a challenge coming over here 10,000 miles away, leaving other work, all your serials, and then working on this. It must be something that captured your attention.
Yeah, I actually moved here at that point, and I just started getting agents here to get work and stuff, and I've started working here now full time. But yeah, it was difficult. It's always a challenge when you move to a new place. You have to start from scratch. So that's always there. But, I've never really, regretted it, and I really enjoy challenges.
Yeah.
It's fun. I was acting and I've been doing television, etc. for the last 15, 20 years,
Right,
almost 2
right.
decades. And this is different and it's new, and let's see where this goes.
Yeah,
It's
you
interesting.
always want to do something that it's different, so that you're ahead of the curve all the time.
Of course, and you have to reinvent yourself as an actor all the time. So this is a different industry.
Right.
And
So this is a character that you never portrayed before in all the serials that you've done so far.
I think everything is a little different.
Yeah.
There are no two characters that will ever be the same. No two human beings are the same.
Absolutely.
It's as simple as that. So yeah, this was different, and it was interesting because I never shot in New York. For me to shoot downtown in the financial district, and to shoot in all the locations that we shot, it was very interesting for me. I was enjoying it. I would see
What
new parts
locations
of
were
New
you?
York.
All parts of New York and Jersey as well.
Not Jersey really. Where did
Only
we
New
shoot?
York?
We shot in Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, yes.
And we shot in a vault actually in downtown financial district, where we enter this building and there's this abandoned vault. We used that in the film. Yeah,
Wow, that must be like a very special.
Yeah, it was
sort of a
special location, yeah.
Yes, it definitely.
that's a
has
big
that.
draw of the film.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. And Ishwar, I know that you're an engineer also by profession,
That's right.
and filmmaker at the same time. So tell us, where do you want to take your career, filmmaking career? This is something big for you, backup? Or you're using it as a backup as well?
No, backup actually is kind of a calling card. We have a feature, as I said, on the lines of this story, and we wanted to show this to people and see how they receive it. And we are planning to start that feature in the fall or winter of this year. Yeah.
Was it a challenge, for Indian filmmaker to make a film outside of India, something different, something more experimental? Because a lot of people are so much into Bollywood and what's going on out there, and suddenly you want to make something different, deviate from the regular paradigm, that so to speak, and make it a little different. So is it a challenge, in terms of financing and getting the whole production done?
Yeah, it was a challenge starting from the script. We were shooting it as a Hindi film, and we had all this American crew.
Right.
And the sound guy, he never understood what these people were speaking. So we had a separate script for the English speaking people. We had an English script, we had a Hindi script.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very detailed actually, the production. And finding the funds to do it. I have 2 other co-producers, Hemangi Shah and Vijay Adi Reddy.
Right.
And we have a couple of other executive producers. And we had good rehearsals done. We had planned everything very well.
Right.
Yeah.
Now a lot of times in film festivals we see different films from different genres, and they're capturing the attention of a lot of people all over the world. So you feel like, maybe 10 years ago it would have been very difficult to put a film out like this. Now things are easing out, and it's facilitating a lot of filmmakers to experiment in different subjects and conceptualize different things for viewers.
Yeah, that is right. We have a lot of film festivals. Even here we have, I think at least we have 6 to 7 South Asian film festivals in the United States. We have Canada, then we have, I think in UK we have few, and in India we always have the festivals. So we are planning to send backup to a few of the festivals here. And other than these, we are trying to send it to the mainstream festivals. We'll see how it goes.
Right.
Yeah.
So this could be a very fulfilling experience if it works out very well for you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, people would know basically a different thought of, every film is a thought basically. So they will know how I think,
Right.
but they will see how my characters speak.
That's right.
My
Your
thought.
characters are speaking through your thoughts that are
Yeah.
being manifested over there.
Yes.
Shweta, do you want to work again with Ishwar?
Oh, of course.
You like to you like to stay here more often?
Yeah, definitely. I have moved here recently,
I
so
see. Okay.
so I'm going to be here for a while now. So one does go back and forth.
Right.
It's always lucrative to do that. But definitely love to work with him. His team has been fantastic. They've been very regimented, very disciplined, and I like that. From where we come from, it's also like that. So you like that discipline, you want that.
Right.
And very detailed. So it was good. It was great fun to work with Ish.
What are your future plans after Backup?
Currently, I'm doing my biggest production,
Yes, of course.
but
That is the best production of your life.
Exactly, yeah, that's right.
so currently doing that. So unless I get a role where they want a pregnant woman, I guess I'm pretty much taking a sabbatical for a while.
That's true. Unless you get a role like that,
Yeah.
which at times, well, maybe Ishwar can
it can
carve
happen.
out a role like that.
Definitely, definitely. Never say never.
Right, right. So besides Backup, Ishwar, I know you have worked with Hollywood, Bollywood. So you're between straddling between different cultures, different movies and different concepts, different continents. What do we expect from you after Backup?
I have a romantic comedy and I have a dark thriller like Backup, a feature. So let's see. I mean, things will fall in place by the end of this year. Yeah,
Right.
we should start rolling. Yeah.
Is it something very, very different from what you've done in this one?
The thriller is kind of like this. Basically, Backup is a taste of the feature that I'm making. It is a small taste. Yeah, so the setting and everything will be the same, but the story and the thing will be different.
Right.
But the feel would be the same. The romantic comedy is totally light. It's very lightweight film.
Right. After that, you need something light.
Yeah. After this, I want to do something like that.
Yeah. You chose to make it duration only 35 minutes. Was there a particular reason for that, for Backup?
The story unfolded in that way, and I didn't want the story to restrict the story to like 20 minutes or something. I wanted the characters to carry the film
Right.
till the logical conclusion.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I know some people stretch it out as well, and at times it's hard to engage the attention of the viewer.
Yeah, I have had a couple of test screenings for people. They're fairly okay. They didn't like feel it was too long. Yeah, it's tight actually. It's very intense though.
Any songs in the film?
No, actually, it's kind of an English film with all the taking and the production value. Only the language spoken is Hindi. That's it.
Right. And of course, it's got subtitles.
Yeah, it's got good subtitles, everything. Yeah, everybody can understand what's going on.
And you didn't have too many characters in the film. They're not. I think they're about 7.
Yeah, we have around 6 main characters. Yeah, and 7th is a subordinate character.
Right.
Yeah.
You kept it very tight script and not too many members in the cast because you said it's a high budget, but
high budget, but very kind of a 80% one location script. Like out of the 35 minutes, 25 minutes we are in one location. We don't step out and we go really deep. Yeah.
And how long did it take you to shoot the film?
Around 6 to 7 full days.
That was it.
That was it. Yeah.
And then of course the editing, which is
Yeah, the editing and the color correction, it took over 3-4 months.
I see.
The post-production always takes much longer.
Post-production is always longer.
Dubbing, the editing,
Yes. Did you ever think at the time of post-production you could have done it differently, something?
There are always improvements that can be made, but keeping the budget and the liabilities that we had as producers and director, I think we did a great job actually, and the cast was fantastic.
Right,
Yeah.
right. The movie, of course, talks about terrorism and the killing and the violence and suicide bombing. Has that moved you a lot? I mean, the incidents that we see in the last 12, 13 years, especially in the United States, has that moved you, and also in India and other parts of the world? Do you think that has gripped your attention as a filmmaker, and that's why you made this film?
One of the main reasons I made this film was the length to which a human being will go to save himself. It should not be at the cost of the public. So at some point, as a person, we should be willing to make the sacrifice for the greater good. So that is the bottom line the film talks about.
Right. Yeah. So it has a sort of a cathartic effect on the viewer after they leave the film.
One would hope so.
Yeah,
One would hope so.
Yeah.
But I think terrorism is something that affects everyone. Day to day, there's not one person in the world who doesn't get affected. Even if it doesn't happen here, you can sit miles away and it hits you because it's so visual and everyone's been through it. There's no country that doesn't experience it today. So it's something that people everywhere in the world get affected by it, who you probably know in person at times.
Yeah. And we're talking about guns, violence, suicide bombing. It's just become, everybody we see that in the headline news all the time. So it does disturb, affect us in many, many ways, affecting our psyche. And this film probably will give a more positive message, that, for the sake of humanity, you got to sacrifice.
Yeah.
Right.
Basically, it's about if a person is a terrorist, if there are a group of terrorists, then we have the law enforcement agencies trying to track them and everything. But the agencies cannot track a regular person who is going to turn into a terrorist. So that is something that we as the people should not try to become.
Right. So it's also like what makes somebody turn into a terrorist,
That's right.
What goes on that drives them into that extreme emotion, brainwashing or whatever it is,
That's right.
So is it our values that have gone wrong? Is it the education? Where does society, where are we going at this point of time? So all these questions are being asked by a lot of people all over when we see violence all around us.
That's right.
So I guess it's an intense topic, and the second one obviously is very lighthearted movie that
yeah.
you're going to be coming out with, and this is going to be put in the film circle, film festival circuit as well.
Yeah, it is going to a few festivals. It is going to one South Asian festival in the United States over the next couple of months,
Right.
and some other mainstream festivals. So let's see how it goes. Yeah.
And Shweta, best luck with the current production.
Thank you,
as a
Renee.
pregnant mother. So
Thank you.
we'll see you hopefully when you're back with baby.
Soon after, yes,
Soon
definitely.
after.
Thank you.
So it's Ishwar Gunturu, writer, producer, director of Backup, along with Shweta Keswani.